The Good Ride, making mediocre matter one good setup at a time. So this is the Good Ride review of the Now Drive. It's a great binding. It's been a lot of fun to ride. It's got some issues though. It's not, it's not perfect, but it's definitely an upper tier binding, and it's definitely evolved over the years. I'm doing this review today because yesterday I did the review and rode this and compared it against the Jones Mercury, which is, they're basically the same. It's basically the Drive remade, slightly tweaked for Jones. And I rode it with two, yes, typo 158s. But for some reason the video came out super blurry. I think I accidentally autofocused, or I mean hit the manual focus the wrong way. I'm not a cameraman, as you could probably already tell by looking at all these videos. But anyways, it came out blurry, so I'm doing it again. At the end of the day, I did take these out and ride them against the Atlas on the grates, which was just a fun way to end the day. And the typos were exactly the same. They're both 58s. I'm riding my Adidas tactical ADVs, and so it's just kind of, it was a rare and unique opportunity to have two of the same board. I never have that, so that was really cool. And I just put these both on typos and went out riding, and it was super fun. Now they're both very similar. The one difference I would say is two things. The ankle strap, I'm leaning a touch more towards the Jones Mercury ankle strap versus the Now Drive ankle strap, but they're very similar in volume and shape, and you can flip them and whatever. And then if you look at the high backs, you can see that the Jones has just a slight notch for a little easier flex, but they're the same high backs. They sit nice and with a decent, with like low on the calf, and they don't have a lot of forward lean, which I love. So that's super cool. But this is mainly about the drive, and it feels lighter. The footbed didn't bother me once with my Adidas tactical ADVs. Normally, it sits a little higher than your average footbed. It usually comes out here and kind of goes along the bottom. That you don't have this, so sometimes that pinches certain boots. Like it would pinch my old Burton boots, but it doesn't pinch my Adidas at all. It just feels like a normal footbed, and that is so great because I never felt like you needed a really tight heel cup or a tight feel. Like I used to like pop in, like I'd be stuck in the heel cup with the Hanger 1.0s. So I think they widened everything. Either that or my boots have a much better lower profile in terms of width. A couple things, I'd love to see them drill a hole here and here for EST instead of have a second plate. They are EST channel compatible. And I'd love for a little more adjustability stance width wise. It's very short from edge to end to end. So I'd love to see that. I'd love to see some footbed adjustability. Basically what you see is what you get. This can be a little tricky sometimes for me, but the more I push this toe strap all the way forward and pull it in this way, as long as it's not pulling down a little bit. Some people like, depending on where your boot is on this, some people kind of go down a little more. Nobody does this, but some people go down, and if you do that way and you have like boots like mine, Adidas tactical ADVs, that are like energy boost foam with little rubber squares below, it can give a little bit more, and you can feel this toe ramp here kind of pressuring up on that. But when you go forward, all the way forward, all the way down on the bottom of my boot, oh, good gust there. We'll let it pass. You can feel it, a little bit of pressure, but when you put it all the way forward, I don't feel, I feel almost no pressure, and it's doable. but my arches did feel a little crampy at the end of the day, but I finally figured that out towards the end of the day. And today when I was riding, you know, the Recons and the Apollos, I didn't feel anywhere near as much, you know, like arch cramping or pressure on that, let's say this is your heel of your foot, this is where your toes start. I usually feel like pressure there, and it causes my arch to cramp. So I didn't have that today. Ratchets are really good, really smooth. It has really good response. My Adidas, my Union Atlas were more responsive, but this has a nice smooth medium response that made the grates and the typos feel more damp underfoot, a touch less buttery, but a little more damp. And it's just got you know, just like amazing shock absorption. It's just all cush here. It's the cushiest ride. I don't think I could get a cushier ride going with the Adidas Tactical ADVs with the energy boost and these. If you're all about shock absorption, then this is the great call. So, you know, can't rotate the high backs, but they're pre-rotated enough to where it didn't bother me. And you know, there's a bit of a twist to the high back, which is cool. I like adjusting the high backs more, rotating them more. I love the Kingpin tech. It's very cool, and it's fun to kind of, you know, mix it up with these and go, you can kind of see it moving up and down. You can kind of mix it up and go with softer stoppers on the bottom here. And they don't come off as easy as they used to, which is pretty cool, or harder stoppers. You know, I kind of wish this was a little lower, or this had some plastic in it, or this was longer, so it just felt a little more stable on the toe ramp. But other than that, you know, it's a good binding. It's very recommendable, and especially if you have a boot that has a sole with like just all rubber, thick rubber sole, you won't even notice this. If you have boots like mine, you might or might not. But all in all, I think it really turned a corner, and same with this Mercury. These are just super fun bindings, and it's just a great way to ride a board, especially if you're looking for damp and cushy and smooth response, and you're kind of more of a plug and play kind of guy. You don't want to really tweak around and do a lot of the adjustability thing. So there you have it.